Hello, I'm Tony Trongone, Superintendent, Millville Public Schools. I'm here to provide you with another update with the Weekly 3 with Tony T. The three topics for this week are School Violence Awareness Week. I'm going to be going around and having a superintendent listening tour. And finally, the Start Strong assessment data. Our first topic, School Violence Awareness Week. So obviously, School Violence Awareness Week focuses on how we can prevent school violence from happening in schools. And over the past 2 or 3 weeks, as we all know, schools as we know it have changed since March 2020. So from March 2020 to the end of the school year, students were not in school. Last year, we had virtual groups where some kids didn't come in school at all. And then we had hybrid groups where one group would come in on one day, another group would come in another day. So the school was pretty much broken up into 3 parts. And eventually we did get back to 4 days a week last year, but we still had that virtual group that was still home every day. And in this September, we've had everybody back 5 full days for a full day. And with everybody coming back together, there's going to be some acclimation into a process of getting back to whatever will be this new normal. And from that, we've had a number of altercations in the schools, and rest assured our administration is addressing them, and but also to understand why it's happening, not only to address any type of disciplinary issues, but we have to understand this phenomenon moving forward in this pandemic era or post-pandemic area, because I'm in my mind, we're moving forward. Our second topic is the Superintendent Listening Tour, or what a member of the community called What's on Your Mind. And so I'm going into the faculty meetings after school, and at that same night I would have a meeting with parents and receive feedback of how things are going. Again, this is my second year here in Millville, but my first year we couldn't get together, so it's also a good way for the community to meet me in person. And so what we're doing is we're gathering that information to look at what's going good and what's maybe not going so great, and we can make those adjustments moving forward. But also, in the latter part of this school year, the school board has taken a direction with a new strategic plan. So we'll look to gather that data that we collect during the listening tour and have a couple more community meetings later in the year to start forming what will be our new strategic plan for Millville Public Schools. So some dates. I started this past week at Millville High School. Thank you for those parents and faculty for showing up and giving me that feedback. Our next session will be at Lakeside Middle School on November 8th. And then the following week, you'll see it's usually going to be a Wednesday afternoon or night. And it's November 15th at Rick Avenue. And then December 1st at Silver Run, December 15th at Holly Heights. And then after the winter break, I'll be at the Bacon Elementary School on January 12th. And then Mount Pleasant on January 19th. And finally on February 2nd at the Child Family Center. So I look forward to seeing you at these sessions. Our third topic will be the Start Strong assessment data that we're receiving. So the past few weeks, our students have participated in the New Jersey Department of Ed's Start Strong assessment program. And that program provides a data point to support our curriculum and instructional planning moving forward. And so we know people are trying to skirt away from the term loss of learning, but we know that there are going to be gaps, and that's what the purpose of the Start Strong assessment is, to gather that data to give our staff a direction of where they need to go. And so have we been doing that? Sure. Since September, our teachers are working feverishly to help our kids academically, but as in the previous update on school violence, we've been dealing more with the school climate issues with kids coming back and everybody coming back into the school. And now it's time to not only stay focused on school climate, but also keep an eye on academic achievement for our students moving forward. Since this is we are an institution of learning, and we want to move forward with that. And so what you'll see here are some slides. The first slide will be our performance in language arts. And so what they do is they break it up into categories, and you can see that you'll have strong support, some support, and less support. And then you can see those colors. And so our educators will be able to triage, for lack of a better term, where we need to go in regard to a particular topic in a subject area. And so we're waiting for more data to come back, because this is just the overall performance data for Millville Public Schools by grade level. But then we'll get more data by the content and break it down by standards, so we can be more surgical in helping our kids meet the standards. So stay tuned for more updates on that, but I do feel that the public should know. We put a flag in where we are, and we move forward, because I always say what gets monitored gets done. And so I want the public to see this data, and as we move forward, try to make incremental improvement over time with our students academically. And for some shout outs, our marching band finished first in the Group 4A at the New Jersey Marching Band Directors Association Regional Championships. They earned Best Color Guard and Best Visual, broke the Marching Bolt's record for high score over the past 25 years, and they're competing in the state championships on Sunday, October 31st at the College of New Jersey. Our girls soccer team, they've had a spectacular season. They're 14-2, and they're undefeated 10-0 in the Cape Atlantic, and they are in the first round of the playoffs, and they're going to be playing Southern Regional on November 2nd. Our boys soccer team is 11-5 with an 8-4 record in the Cape Atlantic, and their first round playoff game will be against Cherokee on November 1st. And our football team, who's 7-1 and highly ranked in the state of New Jersey, they'll have a playoff game next weekend, most likely on November 5th. And stay tuned for more news on getting tickets to the game from our athletic director, Mr. Lagamba. And a shout out goes to our staff. As I mentioned earlier, it hasn't been easier for everyone getting back to some semblance of normal. I'm in several meetings across the state, and it's not just specific to Millville as far as student behavior and school climate, while all of us get back together to in-person learning. And so there's adjustments that have to be made, and I want to thank those individuals that promote a safe learning environment and also curb any type of issues that may arise, and also their dedication towards it, because again, it hasn't been an easy 2 or 3 weeks with that adjustment, and those folks should be commended for their efforts and for their dedication in preserving a safe and orderly learning environment for our students in Millville. And for upcoming events, October 30th, Pumpkin Chunkin' Engineering Contest at Rowan University. October 31st, Sunday, as I mentioned before, our outstanding Thunderbolt band will be participating in the New Jersey Marching Band Championships at the College of New Jersey. And we have a trunk or treat on Sunday at the being held by our Millville first responders at the First United Methodist Church. On November 1st, Monday, our boys soccer team will play Cherokee in the first round, and our middle school field hockey team will be playing Bridgeton. On November 2nd, Tuesday, our girls soccer team, as mentioned before, will be playing Southern Regional, and our cross country will also be participating in the Cumberland County Championships. And on November 3rd, schools will be closed in observance of Veterans Day, and November 4th and 5th, schools will be closed for the New Jersey Teachers Convention. And then on November 5th, we'll have a varsity football game, a home game, and again, that opponent has yet to be determined. So stay tuned for, again, an update on our opponent, and also as far as ticketing for that event. And as always, go Bolts!